So I discovered that two colors were super scratchy. So one of them is this brown ochre 10%, and then this one, which was this one here, sepia. Is it sepia 10%? No, it's this one, burnt sienna 10%. Let me go back in here. So interestingly enough, yes, burnt sienna was very scratchy on this, but here the brown ochre 10% was so super creamy. I have no idea what suddenly happened to it. Here it was doing exactly the same scratchiness that the burnt sienna 10% did. So I just don't understand. When I was using it, it was making such strong, like, scratchy marks that you can still see them. So that really would ruin, you know, your piece of art if you were creating something. So I wonder what it is. It felt like it just had some sort of binder in there, and just the binder wasn't mixed well with the pigment, and that was what was happening. I'm so surprised that actually the same pencil was doing this beautiful creaminess on this here, on this swatch, and this tremendous scratching on this paper. So I wonder whether that can happen to some of the pencils or not. And equally, if that happened to the burnt sienna 10%, could it be that maybe if I resharpen it and get rid some of the lead, you know, maybe down the lead barrel, maybe the pigment is better mixed in? I have no idea. So yeah, it's kind of unpredictable a little bit with these Luminance pencils. So that was what I kind of learned in doing this color wheel. But now I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing, just thinner kind of swatches, and I will basically write down the name. The other thing versus, so you can see here, pigment versus Derwent Drawing Pencil, the Luminance have a lot of crumble that comes off, which can be quite messy to work with. So I would highly recommend, if you want to try out the Luminance pencils, that you invest into some sort of a fan brush. Now this one I got from one of the beauty glossy box or something like that subscriptions, and it was inside there. So you can go to Boots and get a cheapy kind of makeup fan brush. You need something super fluffy, nothing that will have a hard bristle. So something like this could actually drag the pigment on the paper and it will smudge it. So you need something so fluffy that it will literally just pick up and kind of fluff off. So I would recommend that with the Luminance pencils. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead, draw them in here, and title, and that will be kind of my reference. The other thing that you probably have seen is that I am putting a mat underneath. So you see, it happens to every pencil. I've got a mat underneath, which is the Bible mat by Illustrated Faith. It says here Bella Boulevard. I'm not sure who designed it, but basically it's so good for using colored pencils in a sketchbook. I don't like the indentation that, you know, potentially I could create on the paper, because I like to use a lot of force and a lot of pressure with my pencils. I love pencils when I don't see the pencil, if that makes sense. I love them to be super strong, and you know, for that matter, I'm going to add a lot of oomph to it, and so you could have like an indentation on the paper, and on the other side, if you turn the page, you'd have that kind of thing. So to avoid that, I really highly recommend using one of those Bible mats. It really helps. The other thing I just remembered, I actually bought Caran blending pencils a while ago, and since I now started using the Luminance pencils, I think I'm going to try it out next in the next video, like blending them with that pencil. I completely forgot I had it. So let's see now, next color. I just wanted to refer back to the original here. So burnt ochre 50%, which is this one here. Originally, this was the Scratches, I'm trying to show you, Scratches pencil from the first 4 that I bought, and that's the pencil that put me off. But in fact, look at that. It is super creamy on this swatch. It's just as creamy as the others. So what I'm going to try and do, this is the one that caused me problem in this color wheel. So I'm going to kind of sharpen it and see if I can get rid of a bit of that, bit of the lead. Yeah, no, it's still, although here, now on this end, it's better. Can you see that? Now it's creamy again. But the previous scratch is almost hard to cover. Okay, I managed to cover it now. So what is that? It's very strange. So there's something in the pigment lead that hasn't been mixed properly. So I thought as a little extra, I think we have a bit of time left, I will compare or find matching colors from my Derwent Drawing Pencils, and you know the ones that I love using, the trio that I like using is the Terracotta, Mars Orange and Light Sienna. So I think for my light sienna, I'll compare it to the brown ochre. And then for the terracotta, the Mars Orange, actually the terracotta works really well, so I'm going to go with that. And for this darkest color, natural russet works really well. So I will do swatches side by side. And then what I want to do is just kind of try to blend them with this Caran full blender. So we'll try that out as well. So to begin with, I'm just going to basically start with my Derwent Lightfast. Just checking that I still have my mat on there. And then my Mars Orange. Then just blending it slightly. And then I'll go back to the light sienna. So these pencils are like butter, and then terracotta to finish. Okay, so that's my Derwent Drawing Pencils, and then we said that burnt ochre, where's the burnt ochre? Burnt ochre 10%, so this one here. So they feel, they have slightly drier feel to them, but very similar in terms of how they lay, kind of covering the entire of the page and the grains of the page as well. Next one, what did we say? Terracotta will replace that Mars orange. Is that terracotta? Here I can see it. So there's our terracotta. They blend beautifully. You can see really seamlessly. And then I'll go into the burnt ochre 10% again. Yeah, they blend gorgeously. And then natural russet for my darkest color. It's a really good match here. But they're slightly different, as you can see. The terracotta here is redder. So this is terracotta in Derwent Drawing Pencil, and this is the terracotta in Caran. So let's see, I'm going to build it up and take it up a little bit less pressure up and start blending. And oops, that's the wrong one. Terracotta, going slightly over the top of the natural russet. Yeah, they blend beautifully. I can feel more kind of creaminess in these, so I almost struggle to blend the light sienna because it's so creamy. And then these, I mean, they're very comparable. I mean, really. Very, very comparable. So if you wanted to extend colors that the Derwent line doesn't have, the Derwent Drawing Pencils, they're only 24 colors. These Caran would be fantastic to do that. Just to buy a few of the pinks and all of those colors that are missing in the Derwent Drawing Pencil set. Yeah, these are beautiful. Nice colors. Okay, so as the final thing, I don't know how long the video is and I might need to divide it into two parts, but as a final thing I want to look at Ruby Earth and Mars Violet, which would be these two colors at the end. And I think they are an okayish match to these two, Violet Pink and Burnt Sienna. So what I want to do is I want to just see how I could use this blender here by Caran, whether it would work on other brands as well, such as the Derwent Drawing Pencil, and you know, also how it works with the actual Luminance pencils, which is Caran as well, so it should work perfectly with them. So I'm just going to try and blend these in. So that's a good blend on its own. And then let's see, I'm going to do the same with the violet pink and burnt sienna. Start violet pink and so this is burnt sienna 10%. Okay, so I will start with the darker here. Hopefully you can see it. This is such a pretty color. So this is the one that kind of works in a funny way. Sometimes it's very grainy, and other times, like here, quite creamy. So I'll try to get it going. So now it's perfect. Just use a scrap of piece of paper and kind of give it a good swatch there. So yeah, the colors are quite different, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't like when the pencils are unpredictable. Such a nice color this, but quite unpredictable. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly title them and then come back and try the blender. Okay, so finally let's see what's the blender going to do. So I'm going to start with the Derwent first. See if it makes any difference. I'll go halfway. It actually does make a difference. So I'll bring you a bit closer in a minute. Let's see if I go this way as well. So this is an option for, you know, if you don't want these sort of liquid blenders. I mean, it's done quite a good blending on its own already. So it's kind of hard to see. I think I can see more of a result up here, and I'm not sure if I like it. And here I can barely pick up on anything because it was already so nicely blended together. So let's just bring you up a bit closer. So that's the blending. And you can see it kind of creates that kind of glossy thing there and the mark making. So I'm not sure I like it, to be honest. I think I prefer the blended look without the blender. But yeah, it's, you know, it's worth trying with other colors as well. I think with these two colors it didn't do anything, but maybe with other colors it would be more of a use. So that's finally it. I have no idea how long this video is, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and see you soon.